1,836 people perished. Not because they didn't know danger was coming. Because danger was coming and they said, well, I'm just not going to do anything. See, why would we do that? Why would we do that? I mean, I suppose in some cases it's just wishful thinking. Yeah, I know, but I'm just hoping that somehow it turns out different for me. Or it could be the Christian form of wishful thinking. And that is a distorted faith. Well, I'm just trusting God that this won't happen. I'm just counting on God to come through for me. And this will work as well as climbing up to the top of this building and jumping off and saying, I'm counting on God to reverse the flow of gravity and levitate me down to the ground. It's the same thing. Because God works in our world through principles, and those principles just apply. And I know. And sometimes we say, well, wait a minute. I know somebody who did this and they were fine. They lived through the Cat 5. Yeah, and do you know why they made news? Because they're the exception, not the rule. I know somebody who smoked like a trooper and lived to be 100. Okay, so are cigarettes a good health choice? Is that what you recommend all people want to live long? No, it's like, let me tell you how life works. 99.99999% of the time. So overwhelming that we can put a lock. It's the way it's going to be. It's principles. And wishful thinking won't work. And a distorted faith that somehow a bailout won't work. Or thinking we're the exception to the rule won't work. When you walk down the path, you will arrive at the destination to which it inevitably leads. We all do. We all do. Two people, I got a wise person and a simple person. And two choices. Do something. And do nothing. And two consequences. The consequences for the people who act, who see the danger and do something about it, is they move closer to the life of their dreams, and they bring benefit, joy, happiness, and satisfaction. Even though the actions they took at the time might have looked extreme and absurd. They reap the benefits down the road. About 10 years or so ago, outside the city of Atlanta, there was a guy named Buddy who owned an advertising agency. And he did something nobody could understand. He erected a very modern, very large, very well-lit outside advertising billboard in the middle of the woods. Seriously, at night when, maybe it was like towards fall and some of the leaves were down in the area, and you were driving, you could just barely see way out in the distance in the woods this bright kind of glow. And it was Buddy's billboard out in the middle of the woods. And people are thinking, what idiot did that? Advertising to squirrels, rabbits, what? But see, Buddy knew the proposals for future highways. And sure enough, the most likely one is the one that won, and they constructed a brand new highway. And guess what it went right next to? That billboard. Oh, by the way, when they put in that section of the highway, what they also said was, we're going to have this be a billboard-free zone of highway. But because Buddy's sign was already there, it had to be grandfathered in. And he has the only advertisement in a 10-mile stretch of highway. He's raking in fat checks every single month. Because he looked down the road and made choices that would pay off down the road, even if they might have looked a little foolish and been a little difficult. And didn't look like they were paying off in the short term. Well, boy, what does the simple person do? They keep going and suffer for it. They get pummeled. They get punished. They get beaten up because they arrive at exactly the spot that road leads. And they suffer. How many times in my life, how many times in the lives of people that I've talked to, have they been suffering? And the reason they suffer is because they have just been walking a road for a while, and we've ended up right where that road leads. maybe we should all live like there is a tomorrow. Well, like every path leads somewhere inevitable, and usually if we just think about it all, we can probably predict where that path will go and figure out whether it's a dangerous path that will kill our hopes and dreams, or it's a great path that will help fulfill our hopes and dreams. And maybe when we see danger, we should do something and course correct. You know, so many of the things you want for your life, God wanted for you first. And so he gives us direction in his word, and he gives us his spirit to help our thoughts. And he says, now, choose wisely. When you see danger, do something. And you'll be blessed. It's just the way it works in the principle of the path. Direction, not intention, determines destiny.